Hello, Zuko here, and this is going to be like a 14-minute video on me drawing hands. So if that's not something that you really want to see, I completely understand. But if you do want to watch my progress as I try to get better at art, feel free to stick along for this journey. I'm trying to upload this weekly, and hopefully I get like 6 days per week of art at least, maybe 7. I can't really go more than 7 because that's how many days there are in a week. But yeah, so I am doing a I guess challenge for myself where I follow a guide that I found online on how to get better at drawing anatomy. So this week is just hands. I am drawing a lot of hands. Next week, probably also a lot of hands. The week after that, I might be drawing hands and shading them. It's not going to be a fun first month, okay? But it's going to get better. I promise. Um, I wanted to draw in my sketchbook every day, and this seemed like an easy way to do it, to like get practice in and actually learn while I go. Uh, so I am just outlining my hand. Not literally outlining my hand. I'm drawing outlines of my hand, as you can probably see, because this day is almost done. Thank God, because that first day, that first day was the easiest, which is sad. It's all downhill from this. Except that I get better. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. Leaving my wrist on the desk, though, was leaving like red lines, and it was super painful to hold my hand there to like do all of these poses, and I just kept moving it, and then I'd have a new line, and it was not very fun. And you, as the viewers, are going to see my hand at different angles than I see it because I'm looking at it from a different angle than you. So if my drawings don't look anything like the way my hand is that you can see, that would be why. It is not because I'm just like really, really, really bad at drawing hands. I'm only like moderately bad at drawing hands. Now we are on to day 2, where I decided to maybe make the ridiculous attempt at drawing the American Sign Language alphabet. Which, it was kind of fun. It was good. It was time consuming. It took me about an hour to do the whole thing, which is, I missed J, but J is a movement, so I didn't feel bad about missing J. But yeah, it took me an hour then to do 25 signs. But that was okay. That wasn't too bad. It was fun because I like all the shapes, and I thought it was kind of fun. If my hand on the one that I'm drawing, my left hand, the nails look like shit, and that's because I bite them. I eat my hands. It's okay though, because that is the hand that I use when I'm playing guitar to like finger the strings. I know it sounds kind of sexual. It's fine. But my other hand doesn't look that bad because I need the nails to pick the strings. So that's always fun. I don't have any. I wrote down notes for the first time ever. I don't write notes on anything I do. But I wrote down like a guide for this video because I was like, how am I going to talk for 13 minutes? And I still don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Good luck to me. But I don't really have any other notes for this day. So how about we just quietly sit here and we watch me draw a bunch of other hands. This is going to take a while. Bear with me here because it might get better. It might get more interesting. I have more things to say, I promise. I just don't have more things to say for day 2 yet. So, yeah. Also, I'm sorry I don't put music in these, but, like, all of the YouTube music is kind of crappy and overused. So, like, if you want to listen to music, feel free to turn on your own music. And if you're okay with the silence, that's great, too. And if you really, really are bored, but you want to watch it for some reason, feel free. Like, there's the little gear button at the bottom. If you click it, you can go to speed and you can watch it at double speed. So this goes by even faster. Although I'll talk faster, but hopefully I'm not talking so fast that like if I double the speed, you can't understand me. So yeah, that's always an option. That's an option for everything. I highly recommend it. It has changed my life and how I watch hour-long videos in like half an hour. It's amazing. So, how's your day going? This is a lot of hands. If you're still here for some reason, tell me in the comments how your day is going. And that's yeah. Hope your day is good. Isn't this fun? I should do voiceovers more often. I'm so good at them. I don't know if you can hear my cat yowling in the background. She's not in heat, she's just an asshole. Oh, we are on to Y. We are so close to the end, guys. We are so close to the end. The awful part is that I'm going to do this alphabet again, and I'm going to film it, and I'm going to have to talk over it again. I don't know why I do this to myself, honestly. Okay, we are on to day 3. And, I wasn't having fun drawing hands every day. By day 3, it wasn't really getting easier yet. It took me 40 minutes, I believe, to draw 12 hands. I believe day 3 is when I started just limiting myself to 12 hands. I drew, I think, 2 hands in just doing outlines of what I saw. But then I started breaking everything down into like shapes, into, I guess, almost a skeleton, but not really, because I was finding that way easier, and it helped me figure out like the shapes of the hand and how everything worked, and it was working for me. So I started doing that. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of hand sketching, so like sorry in advance. If you're still here and you're still watching, like thank you. At this point, I'm not sure I could draw a right hand if my life depended on it. I have never drawn a right hand, at least not recently and not well. And never from life. I've never looked at my right hand and gone, yeah, I'm going to draw that, and then looked at it and then drawn it because I have to draw with it. Makes it kind of hard. And I don't really have anybody else to be like, hey, stand here and be a hand model for me. Because that seems weird and I'm not into that. So, can't draw a right hand, but I've gotten pretty good. Pretty good at drawing left hands. They're getting better. You'll notice soon that a lot of my poses every day are kind of the same. And that would be because there's not, like you think there's infinite poses that your hand can do. And it is actually, that's not true. There's very limited amount of poses that I can think of for my hand to do, because there's a lot of angles that you cannot get when you are staring at your hand forwards. You can't hold your hand in a weird shape for that long, especially if it's like one to get it at a really weird angle. That's something I learned, is that it's hard to see your hand in weird angles. You're welcome for this information in case for some reason you didn't know that. I don't know why you would want to know that, but you're welcome just the same. My notes here say that I got tired and stopped early, and I don't know how long I was going to be drawing. But apparently it was more than 12 hands, but I like the 12 hands thing. I think that's a good limit for me. And we are on to day 4. I skipped the 3rd of February because I was so tired all day that I wasn't existing very well, and it was bad. So this day I decided that I was going to try drawing at different angles, because I've realized that I'm stuck kind of drawing usually from the front and back, and that's not going to help as much in the long run as drawing from all the angles I can. Though, as I mentioned before, it is kind of hard to get your hand in a lot of angles because it's kind of attached to you. So, that kind of made it harder. I want to acknowledge now that I suck at perspective, and I'm trying to get better at that, but it's not easy. It's actually kind of hard to make fingers look like they're going away and not just that they're like short and fat. Although I do have chubby fingers, but they're not that short and fat. This day took me about 34 minutes based off of how long the footage is. I mean, that's close enough. It was probably pretty close to 34 minutes, if not just like 30. So, whatever. And yeah, I don't know if it's this day or another day, but I start, if I draw a hand and it's like super screwed up and just looks really weird, I will draw the same pose again and try to improve on it. Sometimes I improve on it. Other days I don't improve on it, but I try. That's the important thing. You just got to keep trying, even if it means sitting down for half an hour or so every day and drawing a bunch of hands. It's not fun, but I do notice now that I am getting faster at drawing hands, and that's nice. It's nice to be getting faster because the day before this one, excuse me, I'm burping, it took me 40 minutes to draw 12 hands, and this day it took me about 34. So I am cutting off time as I go, and that was kind of fun to see because I didn't expect that to happen. Now we are on to day 5. It definitely felt like I was getting faster now because it took me about 30 minutes to draw all 12 hands. I have really noticed that breaking it down into shapes is helping me, but I am wondering now if it was like hurting my ability to just draw hands from sight if I'm needing to break it down, and I'm wondering if that's going to hurt my anatomy skills later or not, because I see a lot of people, like artists, they break their humans down into shapes and like a skeleton. So maybe, hopefully breaking hands down into shapes is going to help me and not hinder my abilities later on. But yeah, I tried in the second two to stop using the skeleton, but I found that my hands were wonkier that way, and I went back to breaking everything down into shapes so that I could make it easier, and my results were better, kind of, except that it did have to stop on the second one in the middle because it came out so bad that I just had to try again with the next one. I think this was the day that I actually noticed that I was getting limited with how I draw hands, because I can't make them like face me in a lot of ways. So I do repeat poses a lot, but I don't think that repetition is a bad thing. It's going to mean that I'm going to improve how I draw hands in that pose, so that if I ever want to draw hands in that pose, hopefully at one point I'll be able to do it from memory, or I'll just reference my own hand. Hopefully if I need to draw a hand in that pose, it is the left hand, because I still don't know if I could draw the right one. I mean, I could try, but it might look really backwards. What if I forget what side the thumb is on? Like, I don't want to draw backwards hands. That seems embarrassing. And now we are on to February 7th, which is day 6. I'm sorry to anybody who is still watching this, because the video is yellow. I was filming at night, and it is dark outside because it's nighttime. And I was using my normal lights, which are yellowish because it's indoor lighting and nobody wants daylight lights. This time, it only took me 25 minutes. So again, I'm still cutting off time in how long it takes me to draw these hands, which is like awesome because I really didn't expect that to happen. For some reason, that never crossed my mind. Be proud of me because I drew nothing but hands for 6 days, and not once did I draw me giving the middle finger, even though I was tempted every single day. I just wanted to draw that so bad. Maybe I'll get that next week. Maybe I can hold off and keep this kind of family friendly, not that anyone is going to watch this with their family. Yeah, no middle finger. I draw a lot of finger guns because I really like drawing finger guns. I think they're awesome. And I just spent 6 days making a video that no one will actually sit through. So that's fun. Tune in next week for more hand drawings. This is probably as much fun to watch as it was to make, which was not that fun. But maybe you'll stick around. Maybe you'll see some like significant improvement and we can be like, wow, this actually works. Or maybe we won't see any improvement and we'll be like, wow, why did you waste our time drawing all of these hands for no reason? Your art is awful. Leave. And you can feel free to think that. I think I'm getting better, personally, and my opinion's kind of the one that matters. But anyway, I'll see you whenever I do my next video next week. Probably more hands. You're welcome. Bye.